विश्वगुरु शिल प्रभुपाद की जय. Hare Krishna to everyone. So we are reading Srila Prabhupada's book, The Science of Self-Realization, Chapter 1, Part 3. We'll begin with prayers. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurummilitam Mena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Namo Om Vishnupadaya Krishnapristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamiti Namine. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschati Deshatarine. Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhaktavranda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. We'll continue reading. This is the conversation between Srila Prabhupada and a reporter. Reporter is asking basic questions to Srila Prabhupada, and Srila Prabhupada is answering very beautiful manner. These are the basic questions of Krishna consciousness. So today's question, Miss Nixon, do all paths lead to the same end? Srila Prabhupada. No. There are four classes of men: the karmis, the jnanis, the yogis, and the bhaktas. And each achieves a different goal. The karmis work for some material benefit. The karmis work for some material benefit. Prabhupada is saying there are four classes of men. What are there? One is karmi, the jnani, the yogi, and the other one is bhakta. So Prabhupada is defining who is karmi, who is jnani, who is yogi, and who is a bhakta. So karmi, the one who works for some material profit. For example, in the city, many people work hard day and night, and their purpose is to get some money. Ultimate purpose is to get some money, some material profit. Thus, they are fruity workers or karmis. Karmis are called fruity workers because they are working for some material profit. Next class is the jnanis. Jnani is a person who thinks, why am I working so hard? Because jnani is in knowledge. So that is why he thinks, why I am working so hard? These birds, bees, elephants, and other creatures have no profession, yet they are also eating. So why should I unnecessarily work so hard? See, karmi doesn't think all these things. Karmi just still go on working. Either it may be day or night. His only purpose is to get money. Some or the other way, get money, earn money. But Jnani is little higher than the karmi. Why? Because Jnani is thinking, why should I work so hard? Even the other creatures, the animals, the birds, the bees, the elephants, they have no profession. They are not working like the human beings. And still they are getting their food. So why should I unnecessarily work so hard? Rather, let me try to solve the problems of life. What are those problems? Birth, death, old age, and disease. Jnanis try to become immortal. They think that if they merge into God's existence, then they will become immune to birth, death, old age, and disease. And the next level is the next class of men are The yogis. The yogis are little advanced than the jnanis. Yogis try to acquire some mystic power to exhibit a wonderful show. For instance, a yogi can become very small. If you put him into a locked room, he can come out through any little space. By showing this kind of magic, the yogi is immediately accepted as a very wonderful man. This is the business of a yogi. Yogi acquires some mystic powers. Of course, modern yogis simply show some gymnastics. They have no real power. But a real yogi has some power. A real yogi has some power, which is not spiritual, but this is material. Even though yogi has got some power, but that is not spiritual, it is material. So the yogi wants mystic power. The jnani wants salvation from miseries of life, and the karmi wants material profit. So these are the three classes of men. In that, karmi wants some material benefit, and the jnani want salvation from the miseries, and the yogi wants some mystic power. But the fourth class is bhaktas, the devotees. Bhaktas doesn't want anything for himself. He simply wants to serve God out of love, just as mother serves her child. There is no question of profit in a mother's service to her child. Out of pure affection and love, she cares for him. Mother cares for her child. It is out of affection. It is not uh, like no jnanis or like karmis to gain some material profit. No. Similarly, bhaktas wants to serve the Lord out of love. When you when you come to this stage of loving God, that is perfection. The perfection of human form of life is when one comes to the stage to serve God out of love. That stage is perfection. This is perfect stage. Neither the karmis, the jnanis, nor the yogis can know God. Only the bhaktas. Only the bhaktas. Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita 18.55, Bhakta mam abhijanati. Only through the process of bhakti can one understand God. Krishna never says one can understand him by other processes. Krishna never says like no karmis can attain or yogis can attain. No, he is saying here only bhaktya mam abhijanati, only through the process of bhakti yoga. There are four processes. The one is karmis, one is jnanis, yogis, and only the process of bhakta, one can understand God. Only through bhakti. If you are interested in knowing God and loving Him, then you must accept the devotional process. No other process will help you. Next question by reporter. What transformation does one undergo on the path? Srila Prabhupada, no transformation. Your original consciousness is Krishna consciousness. Now your consciousness is covered with so much rubbish. You have to cleanse it. And then Krishna consciousness. Our consciousness is like water. Water is by nature clear and transparent. Prabhupada is giving beautiful example. What is that? Water by nature, it is very clear and transparent. But sometimes in the like rainy season, it become muddy. And if you filter all the mud out of the water, it again come to its original clear transparent state. It is our at present Our consciousness is covered with so many rubbish things. And by chanting the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. By this process, we can clear our consciousness from all these rubbish things. And after clearing, then our original consciousness, Krishna consciousness, awakens. Next question by reporter. Can one function better in society by becoming Krishna conscious? Can one function can work better in society by becoming a devotee of Krishna? He's asking. And Srila Prabhupada's answer is yes. You can see that my disciples are not drunkards or meat eaters, and from psychological point of view, they are very clean. They will never be attacked by serious diseases. Actually, giving up meat eating is not a question of Krishna consciousness, but of civilized human life. God has given human society so many things to eat: nice fruits, vegetables, grains, and first class milk. From milk, one can prepare hundreds of nutritious food, but no one knows the art. Instead, people maintain big slaughterhouses and eat meat. They are not even civilized. When man is uncivilized, he kills poor animals and eat meat. Civilized men know the art of preparing nutritious foods from milk. Civilized men knows the art of preparing nutritious food from milk. For instance, in our new Vrindavan farm in West Virginia, we make hundreds of first class preparations from milk. Whenever visitors come, they are astonished that from milk such nice foods can be prepared. The blood of cow is very nutritious, but civilized men utilize it in the form of milk. Milk is nothing but cow's blood transfer. You can make milk into so many things: yogurt, curd, ghee, clarified butter, and so on. And by combining these milk products with grains, fruits, and vegetables, you can make hundreds of preparations. This is civilized life, not directly killing an animal and eating its flesh. The innocent cow is simply eating grass given by God and supplying milk, which you can live on. Do you think cutting the cow's throat and eating its flesh is civilized? Reporter. No, I agree with you 100%. One thing I'm very curious about: can the Vedas be taken symbolically as well as literally? Prabhupada, no, they must be taken as they are, not symbolically. That is why we are presenting the Bhagavad Gita as it is. Reporter, are you attempting to revive the ancient Indian caste system in the West? The Gita mentions the caste system. Srila Prabhupada, where does Bhagavad Gita mentions that the caste system? Krishna says, Chaturvarnyam maya system, guna karma vibhagashaha. I created four divisions of men according to their quality and work. For instance, you can understand that there are engineers as well as medical practitioners in society. Do you say they belong to the different castes? That one is in the engineering caste and the other is in the medical caste? No. If a man has qualified himself in medical school, you accept him as a doctor. And if another man has a degree in engineering, you accept him as an engineer. Similarly, the Bhagavad Gita defines four classes of men in society: a class of highly intelligent men, a class of administrator, a class of productive men, and ordinary workers. These divisions are natural. For example, one class of men is very intelligent, but to actually meet the qualifications of first class men are described in the Bhagavad Gita, they need to be trained just as an intelligent boy requires training in a cottage to become a qualified doctor. Just as an intelligent boy requires training in a college to become a qualified doctor. So, in the Krishna consciousness movement, we are training the intelligent men how to control their mind, how to control their senses, how to become truthful, how to become clean internally and externally, how to become wise, how to apply their knowledge in practical life, and how to become God conscious. All these boys teach us to have first class intelligence, and now we are training them to use it properly. We are not introducing the caste system in which any rascal born in a Brahmana family is automatically a Brahmana. He may have the habits of a big class man, but he is accepted as first class because his birth in a Brahmana family. We don't accept that. We recognize a man as first class who is trained as a Brahmana. It doesn't matter whether he is an Indian, European, or American, low-born or high-born. It doesn't matter. Any intelligent man can be trained to adopt first-class habits. We want to stop the nonsensical idea that we are imposing the Indian caste system on our disciples. We are simply picking out men with first class intelligence and training them how to become first class in every respect. Next question: how do you feel about women's liberation? Srila Prabhupada answering: so called equal rights for women means that the men cheats the woman. Suppose a woman and a man meet, they become lovers. They have sex, the woman becomes pregnant, and the man goes away. The woman has to take charge of the child and beg alms from the government, or else she kills child by having an abortion. This is the woman's independence. In India, although a woman may be poverty stricken, she stays under the care of her husband and he takes responsibility for her. When she becomes pregnant, she is not forced to kill the child or maintain him by begging. So, which is real independence? To remain under the care of the husband or to be enjoyed by everyone. Reporter, how about in spiritual life? Can women also succeed in Krishna consciousness? Srila Prabhupada, we make no distinction on the basis of sex. We give Krishna consciousness to both men and women equally. We welcome women, men, the poor, the rich, everyone. Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita 5 and 18, Vidya Vinay Sampanne Brahmani Gavi Astini Suni Cheva Swapakecha Pandita Samadarshana. The humble sage, by virtue of true knowledge, sees with equal vision a learned, a gentle Brahmana, a cow, an elephant, a dog, and a dog eater. Next question: could you explain the meaning of Hare Krishna mantra? Srila Prabhupada, it is very simple. Hare means, O energy of the Lord, and Krishna means, O Lord Krishna. Just as there are males and females in the material world, similarly, God is the original male Purusha and his energy Prakriti is the original female. So when we chant Hare Krishna, we are saying, O Lord Krishna, O energy of Krishna, kindly engage me in your service. Kindly engage me in your service. When we chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra, the meaning is, O Lord Krishna and O Lord Krishna, O energy of Krishna, kindly engage me in your service. Next question. Could you please tell me a little bit about your life and how you knew that you were the spiritual master of the Krishna consciousness movement? Srila Prabhupada is explaining about his life. My life is simple. I was a householder with a wife and children. Now I have grandsons. When my spiritual master ordered me to go to the Western countries and preach the cult of Krishna consciousness, so I left everything on the order of my spiritual master, and now I am trying to execute his order and the orders of Krishna. Reporter, how old were you when he told you to go to the West? Srila Prabhupada. At our first meeting, he ordered me to preach Krishna consciousness in the West. I was then 25 years old. Then Srila Prabhupada first met Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. Srila Prabhupada was 25 years old. He was a married man with two children. I tried my best to carry out his orders and started magazine Back to Godhead. In 1944, when I was still in household, I started writing books. In 1959, after retiring from family life, and in 1965, I came to the United States. So, this is the brief explanation Prabhupada is giving about himself, that he met first to his spiritual master, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, at the age of 25. Then, at the first meeting, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur ordered Srila Prabhupada. He ordered that please preach this Krishna consciousness to the Western world. And then Srila Prabhupada, managing single-handedly, started with Back to Godhead magazine in 1944, and then that time he was household, and then he started writing books in the year 1959, and he completely retired from his family life, and then he started to United States in the year 1965. Next question by reporter. You have said that you are not God, and yet it appears to me as an outsider that your duties treat you as if you were God. See, this is what even outsiders also thinks. If they comes like no during Guru Puja, and this is Aarti is happening to Srila Prabhupada, then they also thinks that they're treating Srila Prabhupada as God. Why? Because it is mentioned Sakshat Dharitvena Samasta Shastra. Spiritual master is Sakshat Hari. And who is telling this? This is telling all the revealed scriptures, Samasta Shastra. So that is why we treat give respect to spiritual master as good as God. So you see how Srila Prabhupada is answering this question. Yes, that is their duty. Whose duty? It's a disciple's duty. Because the spiritual master is executing God's order. He should be respected as much as God. Just as a government officer should be respected as much as the government, because he executes the government's order. Even if an order ordinary policeman comes, you have to respect him because he is a government man. But that does not mean he is the government. साक्षादरित्वेन समस्तशास्त्रे उक्तस्तथा yateva sadhi. The spiritual master is to be honored as much as the supreme Lord because he is the most confidential servitor of the Lord. This is acknowledged in all revealed scriptures and followed by all the authorities. Next question. I also wonder about the many beautiful material things that the devotees bring you. For instance, you left the airport in a beautiful fancy car. I wonder about this because Srila Prabhupada that teaches the disciples how to regard the spiritual master as good as God. If you respect the government representative as much as you respect government, then you must treat him opulently. If you respect the spiritual master as much as God, then you must offer him the same facility you would offer to God. God travels in a golden car. If the disciples offer the spiritual master an ordinary motor car, it would not be sufficient because the spiritual master has to be treated like God. If God comes to your home, will you bring him an ordinary motor car or will you arrange for a golden car? Reporter, one of the most difficult aspects of the Krishna consciousness for an outsider to accept is the deity in the temple. How is represents Krishna? Could you talk a little bit about that? See, this reporter is very gently inquiring the basic questions, and Prabhupada beautiful manner is answering all his questions, which will really help us in our day-to-day life preaching these simple questions, answering to all the people. Srila Prabhupada answering, yes, at the present moment, because you are not being trained to see Krishna, because we are not being trained to see Krishna, he kindly appears before you so you can see him. A reporter is asking how Krishna is in the form of TT. So here Prabhupada is mentioning why Krishna has appeared in the form of DT is because we are not being trained to see Krishna, and Krishna has to come personally in the form before us in a manner which we can see him, we can relate him. We can see only the wood, the stone, but we cannot see his spiritual form. Suppose, Prabhupada is giving, suppose your father is in the hospital and he dies. You are crying by his bedside. Now my father is gone. But why do you say he is gone? What is that thing which is gone? Reporter, well, his spirit is gone. Srila Prabhupada. And have you seen that spirit? Reporter, no. Srila Prabhupada. So you cannot see spirit. And God is the supreme spirit. Actually, He is everything, spirit and matter. But we cannot see Him in His spiritual identity. Therefore, to show kindness towards you, He appears out of His unbounded mercy in the form of a wooden or stone deity so that you can see Him. Reporter, thank you very much. Srila Prabhupada, Hare Krishna. The definition of God is given by Srila Prabhupada. Modern man's concepts of God are many and varied. Children tend to imagine an old man with a white beard. Many adults regard God as an invisible force or a mental concept, or as all humanity, the universe, or even oneself. This is the ideally general people in general, they have the God concept of God. Like it worry it. Some people thinks they imagine is an old man with white beard. Some things is an adult, an invisible force out of mental concept. And then in this lecture, Prabhupada describes the details. The Krishna conscious concept is surprisingly intimate view of God. So this is the lecture of Srila Prabhupada. Prabhupada is addressing everyone. Ladies and gentlemen, I thank you very much for kindly participating in this Krishna consciousness movement. When this society was registered in 1966, New York, a friend suggested that it be named the Society for God Consciousness. When Srila Prabhupada registered this Krishna Consciousness Society in New York in the year 1966, that time a friend of Srila Prabhupada suggested, please mention it as a God consciousness. Why it is a Krishna consciousness? Then Srila Prabhupada says, he thought that the name of Krishna was sectarian. The dictionary also says that Krishna is a Hindu god's name. But in actuality, if any name can be attributed to God, it is Krishna. Actually, God has no particular name. By saying he has no name, we mean that no one knows how many names he has. Since God is unlimited, his names also must be unlimited. Therefore, we cannot settle on one name. For instance, Krishna is sometimes called Yashodanandana, the son of Mother Yashoda, or Devaki Nandana, the son of Devaki, or Vasudeva Nandana, the son of Vasudeva, or Nandanandana, the son of Nanda. Sometimes he is called Parthasarthi, indicating that he acted as a charioteer of Arjuna, who is sometimes called Partha, the son of Pratha, who is Arjuna. God has many dealings with his many devotees, and according to those dealings, he is called certain names. Since he has innumerable devotees and innumerable relations with them, he also has innumerable names. We cannot hit on any one name because God is unlimited. So he has unlimited names. So we cannot just hint hit that God is has only one name. The name Krishna means all attractive. God attracts everyone. That is the definition of God. We can see many pictures of Krishna and we see that he attracts the cows, the calf, birds, beasts, trees, plants, and even the water in Vrindavan. He is attractive to the cowherd boys, to the gopis, to Nanda Maharaj, to the Pandavas, and to all human society. Therefore, if any particular name can be given to God, and that name is Krishna. The Krishna word meaning is all attractive. He attracts each and every living being. Parashar Muni, a great sage and the father of Vyasdeva, who compiled all the Vedic literatures, gave the simple definition of God. Aishwaryasya Samagrasya. This is the definition of God given by Parashar Muni. Who is Parashar Muni? He is the father of Srila Vyasdeva, compiler of all Vedic literature. ऐश्वर्यस्य समग्रस्य वीरस्य यशस्विनः ज्ञान वैराग्यश्चैव सन्नाम भग इति. Bhagavan, the Supreme Personality of God, it is thus defined by Parashara Muni as one who is full in six opulences. These are the six opulences. What are those? Strength, fame, wealth, knowledge, beauty, and renunciation. Bhagavan, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, is the proprietor of all riches. There are many rich men in the world, but no one can claim that he possesses all the wealth, nor can anyone claim that no one is richer than he. We understand from the Srimad Bhagavatam, however, that when Krishna was present on this earth, he had 16,108 wives, and each wife lived in a different palace, the palace made of marble and bedecked with jewels. The rooms, each room filled with the furniture made of ivory and gold, and there was great opulence everywhere. These descriptions are all given vividly in the Srimad Bhagavatam. In the history of human society, we cannot find anyone who had 16,000 wives or 16,000 palaces. In the history of human society, we cannot even find a single person who had 16,000 wives and 16,000 palaces. Nor do Krishna go out to one wife one day and another wife another day. No, he was personally present in every palace at the same time. This means that he expanded himself in 16,108 forms. This is impossible for an ordinary man, but it is not very difficult for God. If God is unlimited, he can expand himself in unlimited forms. Otherwise, there's no meaning to the word unlimited. God is omnipresent. He can maintain not only 16,000 wives, but 16 million and still encounter no difficulty. Otherwise, there is no meaning to word omnipotent. Lord Krishna is omnipotent. He is the maintainer of each and every living being. That is why he is God. And God is unlimited. That is his omnipotency. There are all attractive features we experience in this material world. That if a man is very rich, he is attractive. In America, for instance, Rockefeller and Ford are very attractive people because they are because of their richness. They are attractive even though they do not possess all the wealth of the world. How much more attractive then is God, who is the possessor of all riches. The God is the possessor of all the riches. Similarly, Krishna has unlimited strength. His strength was present from the moment of his birth. When Krishna was only 3 months old, the Putana demon, the gigantic Putana demon, attempted to kill Krishna. And instead, she was killed by Lord Krishna. Because that is God. God is God from the right from the beginning of his birth. He does not become God by some meditation or some mystic power. No, Krishna is God. He is not that type of God. Krishna was God right from very beginning of his appearance. Krishna also has unlimited fame. Of course, we are devotees of Krishna and we know of him and glorify him. But apart from us, many millions in the world are aware of the fame of the Bhagavad Gita. In all countries all over the world, the Bhagavad Gita is read by philosophers, psychologists, and religious men. We are also finding very good sales with our Bhagavad Gita as it is. This is because the commodity is pure gold. The commodity Bhagavad Gita as it is pure gold. There are many editions of the Bhagavad Gita, but they are not pure. Ours is selling more Bhagavad Gita. We are presenting Bhagavad Gita as it is. The fame of God, fame of Krishna, of Bhagavad Gita as it is Krishna's frame. Next appearance is beauty. This is another appearance of Lord Krishna. Krishna possessed unlimited beauty. He is very beautiful, as are all his associates. Those who were pious in the previous life receive an opportunity in this material world to take birth in good families and good nations. The Americas people are very rich and beautiful, and these opulences are as a result of pious activities. Prabhupada is saying here that due to pious activities in the previous life, one gets birth in good family, the rich family, and the beautiful, the bodily form. Here, Prabhupada is saying these American peoples are rich and beautiful. Why? Because these opulence are result of their pious activities all over the world. People are attracted to the Americans because they are advanced in scientific knowledge, riches, beauty, and so on. This planet is an insignificant planet within the universe, yet within this planet, one country, one small country, America, has so many attractive features. We can just imagine then how many attractive features must be possessed by God. See, God has created millions and billions of like this planets, earthly planets. So, how much God will be the attractive, how much features, attractive features the God will be having, who is the creator of the entire cosmic manifestation. Lord Krishna is the creator of the entire manifestation. How beautiful he must be. He who has created all the beauty, the one who has created all the beauty. So, how much more beautiful he is. So, here we'll end today's reading. Thank you. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.